This video describes how to create coding schemes for identifying and securing Opticom systems that provide mutual aid and regional EVP and TSP usage. It is important to emphasize that coding does not automatically mean locking out users. Unique vehicle identification is the primary purpose of establishing regional coding schemes. However, this video will also address exercising the option of securing an Opticom system, which could include locking out unauthorized or unwanted users. The ability to identify and secure an Opticom system is common to both Opticom IR and Opticom GPS. Coding schemes involve planning and documenting as well as programming, both on the vehicle and at the intersection. First, let's talk about IR systems. For planning and documenting a coding scheme, it is common to use the combination of the vehicle class and vehicle ID to designate a 4-digit vehicle ID. This makes up to 9,999 vehicle identifiers possible for EVP and another 9,999 vehicle identifiers for TSP, which is typically enough for most regional applications. Depending on the population of vehicles in each community within the region, a prescribed number of vehicle IDs in a unique ID range is assigned. Municipality A gets IDs in this range, Municipality B gets those IDs in that range, etc. In using this technique of combining vehicle class and vehicle ID to achieve 4-digit codes, it is important to realize that this likely eliminates the option of using the relative priority feature, which also allows different classes of vehicles to have different priorities within the IR system. It also eliminates the ability to set different activation points or range settings for different classes or types of vehicles. However, it may be possible to still code the vehicles in such a way to be able to use these features. Within a given municipality, it is up to each vehicle owner to assign specific and unique IDs within their range. Ladder 1, Engine 1, Medic 1, etc. It is recommended that CMS be used for documenting these municipality ranges and specific vehicle IDs. Please consult GTT Tech Support for CMS training and implementation. Now let's demonstrate how to program an emitter ID. Opticom's 792, 794, and 795 emitters are capable of being uniquely coded and identified using a GTT unique programming cable and on-site software. Since the 795 has a different connector, it has a different programming cable than the 792 and 794 series. 500 series emitters may also be programmed, but these are programmed by setting dial switches. See the corresponding manual for those models on GTT Customer Portal for details. To program an IR emitter, disconnect from the connector that is within a few inches of the emitter itself. Connect the programming cable with one Y connector lead going to the emitter and the other one going to the vehicle power source. Use a straight-through 9-pin serial cable to connect your laptop with the 9-pin connector on the programming cable. Once connected, be sure there is power to the emitter. Then go to On-Site and click on the small arrow on the Read Device button to select M790. Make sure to select the proper COM port as assigned by your laptop. This is normally COM1 for laptops with native serial ports, but is usually a higher number when a USB to serial adapter is used. With successful connectivity, the bottom part of the screen turns white and several messages confirming the connection appear. A simple emitter programming menu then shows up. Go to the General Configuration tab, then simply enter the vehicle class and vehicle ID. Once completed, click Write to Device to save the changes inside the emitter. That's it. Reconnect the emitter back to its original power source on the vehicle, and you're done. Next, let's review coding in Opticom GPS environment. In addition to vehicle class and vehicle ID, a new agency ID field was introduced with Opticom GPS. This makes it much more clear and simple to distinguish one community from another within a regional coding scheme. Simply select a unique agency ID between 1 and 254 for each operating agency. In addition, vehicle IDs were increased from 3 digits in Opticom IR to 4 digits in Opticom GPS, allowing for up to 9,999 vehicles to be coded within a given class. And class has been increased from 10 to 15 classes, allowing for millions of unique codes to be used for identifying vehicles. As a result, this allows the vehicle class to be used as it was originally intended, as a tool to distinguish between both high and low priority vehicle types. Upon request, GTT has a sample spreadsheet that can be sent to customers seeking a recommendation for setting up coding within Opticom GPS. Now let's demonstrate how to program an Opticom GPS vehicle kit ID. All Opticom GPS vehicle units are capable of being uniquely coded and identified using a standard straight-through 9-pin RS-232 serial cable and on-site software. Plug the RS-232 cable directly into the Opticom GPS vehicle kit on the front of the unit. As with IR programming, go to On-Site, then click on the small arrow on the Read Device button. This time, select Device. Make sure to select the proper COM port as assigned by your laptop. Again, this is normally COM1 for laptops with native serial ports, but is usually a higher number when a USB to serial adapter is used. With successful connectivity, the bottom part of the screen turns white and several confirmation messages appear. A vehicle kit programming menu appears. Go to the General Configurations tab, then enter the vehicle name, then the code. In Opticom GPS, the number before the first colon is the agency ID, then the middle number for vehicle class, colon, and then the vehicle ID. Once completed, click Write to Device to save the changes inside the emitter. Disconnect the RS-232 cable, and you're done. Finally, let's review the role of the phase selectors in establishing a regional coding scheme. For applications that only require vehicle identification, no programming is required on the phase selector once the vehicles have all been properly programmed. Within the Opticom logs, vehicle ID fields simply appear. Optionally securing an Opticom IR or Opticom GPS is where phase selector programming applies. This can be done by programming valid codes, whether IR or GPS, within On-Site. In securing an Opticom system, simply select the allowed or blocked codes desired. Many communities are concerned about rogue internet-purchased IR emitters that may be in the possession of a handful of citizens in their communities. These devices typically transmit a 0 class 0 ID code when communicating to the phase selector. In order to block these unauthorized devices, select Edit in the Blocked Codes column, enter 0 and 0 for the beginning and end range. Select OK, then Write to Device. Although not required, CMS is highly recommended for managing regional coding schemes instead of continuously updating and distributing a spreadsheet with code assignments per community or visiting every phase selector when the security feature is used. Please consult GTT Tech Support for using CMS in setting up regional coding schemes.